That one time I thought my cousins were rich AF, but they were just as broke as us. I grew up in a small town and my family didn't have much. One day, my mom told me we were going to the city to visit my aunt. I was so excited because I loved seeing my cousins. We got on the bus and after a long ride, we finally arrived. My aunt lived in a big apartment building and I remember thinking how fancy it looked. We went inside and my cousins were so happy to see me. We played games and watched movies all day. Later, my aunt made us dinner. I remember it was spaghetti with meatballs and it was the best thing I had ever tasted. After dinner, my cousins wanted to show me something. They took me to their room and I was amazed. They had so many toys and games. I remember thinking how lucky they were. We played for hours and I didn't want the day to end. Eventually, it was time for us to leave. My mom and I got back on the bus and I remember feeling so sad. I didn't want to go home. When we got back to our town, I remember looking at our house and thinking how small it was. I went to bed that night and I remember crying because I wanted to live in the city with my cousins. Years later, I realized that my aunt and uncle were actually struggling financially, and that day was probably a big expense for them.